The music plays remarkable roles in our lives, in our lifestyle, and it is well known that the music plays a remarkable role for our health. My name is Associated Professor Predrag Mitrovic, and in the next few minutes I will talk to you how we can use the music not only as the art, but how we can use the music like medications, like medication drugs. And my colleague do this with me.
Good afternoon. My name is Aleksandra Paladin. I am a musicologist. Do you know what is musicology? Yes? No? Okay, musicology is science about history of music, and I will tell you something about history of music therapy. Historically speaking, therapy by music is nothing new. Music in caring patients is present since ancient time. We find many interesting information about that in all the biblical sources, shaman rituals, theological literature. Musical theory and musical therapy is present in all cultures all around the world during the whole human history up to modern time, of course. It's a discipline that followed development of medicine since its early beginnings. Applying music in medicine, the first was defined famous Greek philosopher, mathematician, doctor, and musicologist Pythagoras. It was in 6th century before Christ, and he was the first who wrote that music is good for the soul and healing for the body. Pythagoras was the first who was divided music into good and bad, considering its influence on man's health, of course. Pythagoras, he was the founder of a famous ancient school in 6th century BC. His disciples were occupied by sound analysis. They believed that music has godly power, and Pythagoras was taught that music is God power, of course, and the cosmos is built from melodies, music scales, and harmonies. The another one, Plato, he is saying that music is ethic power, and that we can use music on maintain the hygiene of psyche. And the another one, Aristotle, he was Pythagoras' disciple. He taught that music shows excellent results in establishing stability of emotional life. That was history. Let us see how the possibility of using music looks like in real time.
Up-to-date medicine shows us that today we cannot use the things from the way of Dolce Vita lifestyle, because today we can take only one glass of red wine, we can only eat chocolate for the cooking, not the other one chocolate, and today we can only take active walk about 20 minutes. The question is, what is with the music? Can we listen to music how we want? The problem is when we have some diseases. If we have hypertension, if we have diabetes, hypercholesterolemia, if we are smokers, if we have family history for cardiovascular diseases, our heart and our ear are not the same as we are not ill. The question is how our results are in that moment. In this slide you can see that we have changes in our heart results, but we have changes in the results of our ear. So when we have some diseases, we can hear the music like before when we was healthy. To analyze how we can use optimum of the music for the patients with heart disease, we analyzed 1,060 patients with acute myocardial infarction. Half of these patients take the music therapy, and the other one was without music therapy. The method was the method of Mitrovic and all, and the first step in this method was to find musical genre. There were 8 musical genres like classical music, jazz music, pop music, rock music, landscape music, national music, etc. After that, we analyzed how this music take a power on our central nervous system, and the method was with analyzing of our pupil reflex. After that, we must take the second step, and this is we must find the tempo and tonality for each patient by one. And this is one example. This is the patient with hypertension, diabetes mellitus, and heart failure. You can see that this patient can use music only between 92 and 98 beats of the metronome and nothing else. After that, each patient must have 2 sessions daily, and each session was 20 minutes of the music daily. With these 2 sessions, 12 minutes music daily, we can decrease systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, and heart rate for whole 24 hours, like with the medications. We followed up these patients about 7 years, and at the end of this follow-up period, we found that all patients had statistically important decrease in systolic and diastolic blood pressure with in heart rate of beats, and they have a decrease in heart diseases like angina, reinfarction of myocardial, and sudden death as decrease in reoperation.
Interdisciplinary research that connects two disciplines, medicine and music, has 2 directions. The first, medicine music, understands the relationship between medicine and composers and their compositions, which we use in therapeutic purpose. The second direction is music medicine. That direction opens medical files of composers, of most composers, and arrive to very interesting conclusions, and there are just a few examples for that. The first composer is Johann Sebastian Bach. You know, he is the great German composer. He is one of the main representatives of Baroque epoch. Today we use Bach's music with patients that suffer with high blood pressure, hypertension. Today when we open Bach's medical files, we can see that he had problems with hypertension. The another one, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, he had problems with erectile dysfunction, and today we use his music with patients that suffer with that problem. The another one is Giuseppe Verdi, one of the famous opera composers of 19th century. Today we use his opera music with patients that suffer with migraine, and today we know that Verdi had problems with migraine. This is Antonin Dvorak. He is a representative of romantic music. He had problems with hypertension, and today we use his music with patients that suffer with hypotension. This is Mikhail Glinka. He is a Russian composer. He is a founder of Russian national music romantic epoch. Today we know that he had problems with diabetes mellitus, and today we use his music with patients that suffer with that problem. Johannes Brahms, German composer, representative of romantic music. He had problems with respiratory disorders, and you already know that we today use his music with patients that suffer with respiratory disorders. And the last one, Antonio Vivaldi, representative of Baroque music. He had problems with hypertension and epilepsy, and today we use his music with patients that suffer with that problems. What is the conclusion? Based on all this, we can conclude that composers, unconsciously of course, compose the music which they use as his own therapy, music therapy, of course.
And now you can see a few examples. This is, for example, this is one patient with heart failure, with hypertension, diabetes mellitus, and the music of the Beatles had good influence on her health.
other patient with the same problems was listened music by Antonin Dvorak. This is a waltz from his serenade.
The second patient with heart failure, with hypertension, and with hypercholesterolemia, he had good answer on the music of Mark Knopfler and Irish Boy.
The other one with the same problems was listened the Waltz of Flowers from Sleeping Beauty Ballet by Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky.
The patient with heart failure and diabetes had good answer on the music of Mantovani Orchestra.
The other one with heart failure and diabetes mellitus was listened morning from Peer Gynt by Edward Grieg.
And the last one with high body mass index and heart failure have good answer on the music of your group Van Gogh.
The other one with the same problems but much older was listened Swan. This is a part of Carnival of Animals by Camus and Sons.
So we hope that we will be able to soon to take the music on the reception, on the prescription like other medical drugs. And this is quantitative music therapy. And thank you for your attention. And this is the end.
Thank you.
Thank you.